Hello there, and welcome to my channel, Mets Fans, Muma. So today we're going to be talking about a potential Betances trade, a Dellin Betances potential trade for the New York Mets. So earlier today, Andy Martino and Mike Puma tweeted and said that the Mets are trying to free up roster space, and three players that the Mets are trying to get rid of are Dellin Betances, Jerry Familia, and J.D. Davis. Now, J.D. Davis, I see it as more of a trade package, and we'll get into that with another video, maybe in a day or two. Jerry's Familia, I see him maybe as a more of a trade, or maybe with Dellin Betances in this trade that I'm going to talk about, or maybe another trade separately. Jerry's Familia is a different story. Dellin Betances, on the other hand, I think we could get something for him. So I'll talk about that in this video, and before we do, please subscribe to the channel, and please like this video and comment in the section down below. What do you think of this, and do you like this trade? Do you think it could happen? And yeah, so just let me know. So let's get into this. So I think the Mets should trade Dellin Betances. I can't get really into where, because I absolutely don't know where, and I have no clue where he can land. But I think the Mets should get in return a prospect if they can. I think the Mets should try to get a prospect in return. Now, I'll touch on this in a different video, but the Cubs are asking for Francisco Alvarez in a Cubs and Mets trade, if that could happen. So Francisco Alvarez is their top prospect, and I think the Mets yesterday or today said they refuse to trade Francisco Alvarez in any trade. So if that's the case, maybe Dellin Betances can be traded. Again, I don't know where. But maybe if a team is willing to give up at least a 1 to 10 prospect, so top 3 prospect, top 5 prospect, top 10, whatever. And maybe if it's a catcher and he's almost as good as Francisco Alvarez, or a little bit better, or the same as Francisco Alvarez, I think the Mets should make that trade and get that prospect. If the team is willing to give up that prospect, obviously, because some teams don't really want to give up their top prospects. But if the Mets do that, if they can find a trade to do that, maybe, you know what that could do? It could produce a trade with the Cubs instead of rumors that could happen. It actually is more likely it could happen if the Mets do this trade. Why? Well, if the Mets get a top prospect, that's a catcher, and they replace this person with Francisco Alvarez, they can put Francisco Alvarez in the Cubs trade. And in order of doing that, the Cubs want Francisco Alvarez, so that's going to produce a trade because the Cubs want him. So, I mean, if the Cubs want him, then you probably need to put him in a trade because, you know, he's a great prospect, and I get why a team wants him. So I think the Mets should really try to, maybe if it can happen, trade Dellin Betances, get a top prospect, and replace him with Francisco Alvarez. And even if he's a catcher, that's even better. And I think a catcher is actually probably what they're probably going to trade for if they're trying to find a top prospect, since Francisco Alvarez is a catcher. So comment in the section down below, like I said, what you think of this trade, if you think it could happen, what you think of it, and also just tell me advice on what I should change in my YouTube videos, if I should change rooms, if I should put videos in of players' highlights or something. But I'm just getting started, and I want to get some. I have 4 subscribers, so because I'm just getting started, so I want to at least have 50 subscribers in a few months. So please subscribe, and yeah, have a great night. Bye.